We all create habits or routines in our life, but really, isn't it important just to be conscious about the habits and the routines that we create in life?
What happens neurologically uh, usually happens chemically as well when it comes to firing and wiring. So, um, the principle is use it or lose it. And the principle is the more that you use it, the more the physical expression of a organic system is going to accommodate or acclimate to reflect the demands. So if you keep thinking the same way, the repetition of that firing over time is going to cause a long-term relationship with those neurons. So then they become hardwired. Now, let's just say you keep doing that for another 30 years or so. The activity that takes place neurologically as a result of it causes now more enhanced or thicker trunks on those neurons that create more of a superhighway to now form more conductivity. So it becomes more natural, it becomes more easy, it becomes more effortless, it becomes more second nature, it becomes more subconscious, it becomes more unconscious, which means we don't have to think about it any longer. So the person who memorizes a great golf swing and they put all their attention on it and they practice it over and over again, if they keep practicing it over and over again with awareness, and they keep going back and practicing, over time, that swing will become more and more natural. That's the beauty of being a human being. By the same means, the person who practices suffering and thinks of all the reasons to complain in their life and judges others and complains and blames and makes excuses and feels sorry for themselves, they're doing the same exact thing neurologically as the person who's mastering the golf swing or mastering different states of mind. The principle is absolutely the same. The effects are different based on the levels of mind. So the repetition over time not only makes the neurons begin to function in more hardwired patterns, but they begin to accommodate and form more stronger connections, thicker circuits to reflect who and where we are. As an example, if you take a group of people, if you take people that are blind and they've used their entire life to read information through Braille, if you look at a functional brain scan of the area in their brain that's connected to these two fingers on the opposite side, the sensory strip, there's a whole lot more real estate designed for these two fingers because they fired and wired so much of that activity, because that's where their mind is, that they have a bigger parcel to reflect than the average person, the sensory input from these two fingers. If you do an autopsy on those people after they're deceased, there are more intricate circuits or more intricate connections because of the activity over time not only caused more real estate, but more neurons formulated more connections to reflect a more refined level of reality. So the brain's plastic enough to not only develop superhighways, but even more intricate connections to reflect the activity or the repetition.